Hello everyone. This discussion is going to talk about starting with the taxonomic groupings and how we name organisms. First, we have to understand that organisms are placed in different categories according to their morphology, what they look like, what their genetic makeup is. We've now been able to use the DNA as a part of a tool that can help us identify specific species and place them in the correct groupings. So, the more we develop our genetic understanding of the DNA and the different gene codes, then we are able to place these organisms in their appropriate groupings. So we have changed. When I was learning my biology, there were only 5 kingdoms, and that's what we went by, 5 kingdoms. We didn't use domains, but now the the taxonomy rule here is that there are 3 domains. The domain bacteria, where we have these typical prokaryotic organisms that are very simple, E. coli, Salmonella, Shigella, Strep. These are all the common bacteria that most of us are familiar with. And then we have this new domain, Archaea. These are also prokaryotes, very simple organisms, but they're found in very extreme environments. And it took equipment and lab materials that were able to travel into these extreme environments to see if there were actually things living in these extreme environments. Like we would take and enter into the deep sea and go into these thermal vents down in miles below the surface, way down into these areas, and we had to build equipment that would tolerate all the different conditions down there so that we could get a sample and bring a sample up and study it. And then we also had to travel to the ends of the North and South Pole and into the polar ice caps and drill down and then extract a core and see what was in that. And we find that we do have living organisms in these extreme environments. So once where we thought nothing could live, we are finding that there are certain organisms that have evolved different means of producing energy, and they're able to survive in those extreme environments. So that is the domain Archaea. Then we have the most familiar to you all, the most familiar domain, which is the Eukarya. And these are the single-celled or unicellular, they might call it, organisms, and multicellular organisms. And this domain is divided into 4 kingdoms. The kingdom Protista, the kingdom Plantae, Fungi, and Animal. Okay, so we got protists, plants, fungi, and animal. Those are the 4 kingdoms in the Eukarya domain. And that's it for this mini lecture. I'll talk to you next time.